Hello everybody, this is Chaos with Chaos Esports Productions, bringing you another Bronze to Masters League Series game. Today we're going to be looking at a PvT here on Daedalus Point, and today is going to be a little bit of an interesting game. This game actually took forever, so I'm going to be speeding up and slowing down to kind of hit the highlights. There are a couple portions in here where it's just like, okay, there's really nothing cool to talk about. But we're going to talk a little bit about scouting, because that is kind of the name of the game in this game. So we're going to go ahead and get things started and speed things up. So PvT on this map is, you know, honestly, this map in general, every single matchup is kind of a pain. Simply because your third base, you know, your natural is really far from your main, your third base is super far from your natural, and defending is kind of like place your army here and hope that he doesn't, like, do any type of run by down this alley. So it's just in general a very, very weird map. I can't imagine it getting pulled here in the next season or so. But anyways, we're going to be going for a double gas opening. Going to be originally my thoughts were, okay, I'm going to play kind of a blink play, see how that goes, and see what's going on. Now when I come up here, I actually scout a double racks, and 2 racks right off the get-go. Obviously, this can be a little bit of seriously early aggression, or it can just be, I mean, normally that would be really heavy aggression. But in this case, we actually are up against a player who, you know, he's a diamond player. He or she is a diamond player. But, I don't know, just very weird playstyle. I mean, you can see SCVs. We look at the count. I'm already up by 4 SCVs, and she's just kind of doing whatever. I'm not. We're going to talk a little bit about what she's doing here very shortly. But as a function of the 2 racks, I'm going to play a little bit on the safer side. I'm going to hold off on getting my expansion, get up a whole bunch of units so we can do a little bit of poking and prodding and just get a feel for what the heck is going on. We'll get production tab going. So, like I said, we were going to be going for a blink type play, and then I very rapidly began to think, okay, this is a little bit strange. Now I'm sitting here with my probe trying to figure out what's going on. Don't see any expansion, and then when I went up there, I noticed that he's building a missile turret. So he's like, okay, is he going for DTs? But actually, we're up against a rushing Thor player, which I find really, really strange. So I've never, ever, especially out of a diamond player, I've never seen this build go. This is just really strange, and quite frankly, it's not that great. Anyways, we'll talk a little bit about its deadliness a little bit later when we get into that super late game. But anyways, I'm just going to be sitting back, getting up my probes, getting up all my tech, things going. Going to go ahead and plant down my forge, because I'm like, okay, upgrades are probably going to be good. And then blink is almost done, and this is when I send out another probe to go check his natural, because I'm really confused as, like, what is he doing? I come down here, I see no natural. I try to walk back up again to see what the deal is, and things get a little hairy with my probe. So I didn't actually scout these Thors, so I'm still a little bit in the dark. But, I mean, you can see he's, you know, it's 1 Thor at a time, really nothing too weary. So we're going to come back, and this is where the crucial unit comes out. We're going to be doing some hallucinated Phoenix here very shortly to get that scout off, because, you know, we're kind of in the dark. We're like, what do we do? So I went ahead, planted down a second forge, since I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. I just know that I've been on 2 base for a heck of a lot longer than you, and you're really not doing anything. So, so I send hallucinated Phoenix in. Didn't get really that far. We'll take a look. Yeah, see, I see the tech lab on the factory, but nothing too terrible. Now this Phoenix does catch a glimpse of the Thor, so I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm not sure what the deal is, and you know, I just am really confused by this. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, he's going mass Thor, so gonna go ahead and get out a second robotics facility and gonna be pumping out double immortal here shortly. And then also I'm like, well, he's on 3 bases now, so we need to start getting things going with my 3rd base. Now, this is a little bit of an impractical base to take, but my thought process is, okay, if he's going to go for this super heavy Thor mech play, his army is going to be very, very slow. So we're actually kind of safe going ahead and taking this. The only real issue that we have if like a drop comes by, but we really haven't seen any drop type play coming out of him, so we're like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And then we're also going to be planning down our third base as well. I'm going to still call this my fourth because that's kind of what it is. So yeah, so we're up against a Thoring player. As we can see, units-wise, honestly, I think we probably could have just moved over there and won with our current army just based on sheer units. But this is actually going to turn out to be a fairly long game, so we'll get things speeding up a little bit more. So yeah, so I'm sitting here like, okay, I need to have a backup plan, so I'm going to go ahead and put down a couple of Stargates just in case he does something really weird and does like a really heavy air transition. I don't see it happening, but you never know. But then again, we do see battle cruisers on the way. So we're just kind of like, okay, let's see, yeah, get some hallucinated phoenixes. They don't really get any vision. And now we're kind of like, okay, we need to start getting some vision around the field. He does some scans off and doesn't really see any of my army, so we're actually going to be pushing out here, and we're going to pause because we need to slow things down and then get things into it. Now, I'm like, okay, well, if all of his Thors are sitting there at the natural, or at the third, I'm just going to walk into the natural and see what I can get done. So one Thor at the natural is going to get taken out really, really quickly, and we're basically just going to focus down the planetary fortress and then as many SCVs as possible. Pretty much just absolutely ravage him because we know we've got the stronger army. We're just not sure what the deal is. And then we come in and see, oh crap, that's a lot of a lot of battle cruisers. So we come down here and we're like, okay, well, let's go ahead and deal with this third base because we want to minimize all mining efforts from him. So we're killing lots of SCVs, coming in here, getting a lot of damage done. And now we're kind of like, okay, so what is our transition? Well, my option is to go for the Void Rays because Void Rays are pretty good against battle cruisers. The only caveat is you really, really need a handful of Tempest mixed in to actually get the damage done. So we're going to be doing that transition over there. Now, he's already got another expansion up, so he's going to be transferring all of his probes from his from his main down to his natural. And, you know, we're sitting pretty at this point. The only thing that we really need to do is just do a little bit of denying. You know, we see all the battle cruisers still there, and we're feeling pretty good. He's going to go ahead and get up another expansion, because basically all he really needs to do is focus on getting up his economy again, and then start to focus on getting his army. Because right now I'd say his army can do a fair amount of damage to us. We really can't do a whole lot against it. So, and then also we're going to be focusing on trying to get in and deal with this production, because that's basically what will determine whether or not we win this. So we're going to send Zealot in to see what's going on. Don't quite see the expansion from going down. I think we saw it that time. Yeah, we saw it that time. Cool. So I'm just going to be mass expanding. I think this is kind of the best option against this. It really gives you flexibility, and if it turns into a base race scenario, you have the flexibility to just move around and kind of cycle around the map while your opponent just kind of tries to take out all your buildings. So I'm going to continue on getting up them mass void rays because mass void rays are good. And I think at some point I get the double cybernetics core to get double upgrades going on for the air. And then very shortly, actually fleet beacon is already down, so we've probably got a couple, Tempest queued up as well. So at this point we're just like, well, we really need to get rid of some of these zealots, so we're going to send a handful in to deal with some of the production, get a little bit of damage done, maybe kill some SCVs, and you know, we're feeling pretty good about what we're getting done. We do deny this base from going down, but he's going to send all of his battle cruisers over. And basically we're just denying him from getting those expansions. You know, we just got to get him into a position where, you know, he's forced to go for that base trade scenario, because we've just we've got so many more bases, and we just need to, you know, make sure that all of our production buildings don't get taken out. So we're maxed out once again, and let's see. I have 74 probes. Yeah, this is when I pull a whole bunch of probes because I'm like, I need to sack some probes. So Voider is going to come in here, going to take out the natural once again. And, you know, this pretty much minimizes... I mean, he doesn't really have any mining. He doesn't have any gas, and that's kind of the key. Without any gas going at it, he's basically... Wow, did he scout that? He scouted that. Interesting. When I played this game the first time, or when I was actually playing this game, I thought he had not scouted that base on the left-hand side. So he's going to come in here and try to focus down whatever he can, focusing mainly on the air units. Well, not even really. He's going to be focusing down the upgrades more so. Oh, it barely gets that upgrade off. But we're going to just sit here and go for all of his buildings because his buildings are his production. And that is basically all she wrote. Now, he does have a command center floating with his army. And actually, I casted a game last night where it was literally an hour and 15 minutes long of 9 command centers flying around with a mass battle cruiser Raven army. It was just absolutely annoying. But we're going to come in here, try and take down all these buildings as quickly as possible. And, you know, now we're kind of into a very odd situation because it's like, okay... He's got... Actually, he doesn't have as many battle cruisers as I thought. He's got 9 battle cruisers against my 9 Tempests. But the biggest thing is he's got a handful of Ravens. And Ravens do... can throw down those point defense drones, which do a significant amount... You know, significant amount of damage just because they suck up a lot of attacks. So we'll slow it down so we can see all the epicness. All of my Tempests are going to go down, and we're going to try and pick off as many more battle cruisers as possible. A couple Seeker Missers going down, which are going to kablooey. Not really get a whole lot done. But yeah, so he's going to take out this army. You know, we still have our ground army. The only thing that we have to deal with is this command center or taking out the army itself. So at this point, we're going to be building a whole bunch of buildings kind of around the map, just because we want to make sure that we don't get into that situation where we're just dying. So going to build up a whole bunch of stalkers, and honestly, the best way to deal with this type of force is to deal with the Ravens first. So we're going to be focusing on getting out our Templar Archives. He did snipe the Templar Archives back here. And Templar Archives are mainly for a handful of High Templars to deal with, so we can feed back all of the Ravens. That really is the most efficient way to deal with this army, because you can't engage it just straight up because of the point defense drones. So we're going to be letting that finish, getting up a lot of other stuff. We're going to be warping in a whole bunch of High Templars, and then we should be getting in here and taking this out very shortly. Let's speed it up to the final engagement. So, a bunch of point defense drones. Okay, slowing down. Gonna come in here. See, as you can see, he's trading very efficiently, but we can just feed back everything, and that is all she wrote, because he can't really do anything. Tempest doing lots of damage, but he's going to go ahead and leave, and that is going to be it. And that is what a Diamond Terran player plays like. I don't know if that's actually true, but I remember going back and taking a look at his or her stats, because it's Haley, I don't know, and she was in Platinum last season, so clearly halfway decent player. So, I think that's all I've got to say. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave any comments down in the comment section below of how you would deal with this type of engagement. You know, it's one of those compositions that is just really difficult to deal with, and you know, there's not necessarily the most efficient way to do it. So I'd be really curious to see what you guys have to say. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for the relatively long video. Usually I try to keep them under, 10 to 12 minutes, no longer than that. But I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, feel free to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down in the lower left-hand corner. I'd be more than happy to do some more videos for you. I do videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And also feel free to send me some of your replays. There's an email in the description where you can send me your replays, and I'll do a little bit of analysis on your games, let you know how you're doing. Also, if you just want me to cast it for fun, I'm more than happy to do that as well. I really have a lot of fun doing player casts, and haven't gotten one in a while, so would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you did enjoy, go ahead and hit that like button, and feel free to share with your friends on Facebook and Twitter to, get the word out, help other people learn Protoss, and, deal with these sorts of shenanigans. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next game.